I really need a drink.
Alright.
Fred's got the shakes.
Okay.
2 seconds of silence?
Sure.
Hello, cocktail fans, and welcome to the Gentlemen of Elegant Leisure, episode 81.
Holy cow, 81.
Yeah.
81.
You didn't say you were going to make it past 60, right?
That was just impersonal.
That's right, and I still have it. We didn't think he was going to make it past 60.
I just hanging on. If it wasn't for the booze, I wouldn't be hanging around at all. It's the only thing that keeps my heart ticking.
We cut Dave off. Dave, continue on.
Oh, of course, I've introduced everybody.
Yes.
Because people won't know who these laughing buffoons are.
No.
I'm Dave, along with Fred and Jason, and a special guest. Fred, why don't you introduce our special guest?
Me?
Oh,
Yeah, why
sure.
not?
It's all chatty before the microphone starts. And then no clams up. This is like doing Route 66 with him. Oh, what kind of car is that? I'm not interested in talking about cars. You got an old car.
No, this is Kate. This is Kate Stadel. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Fred. Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi,
Thanks for
Kate.
having me here.
This is weird. You said hi to Kate about 15 minutes ago.
I know.
This is
It's very forced at this moment.
Yeah.
No, what?
Awkward.
Is it? I didn't find it awkward at all. I think it's because I sort of gave her the cold shoulder for it just yeah.
So this is fresh.
You're trying to keep the good stuff.
Yeah.
You're trying to stay in character.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm Hamlet.
Yeah. Sullen, moody Hamlet.
Back in the day, Letterman never talked to the guests before they were right out on stage.
Yeah.
In fact, we shouldn't even had her sitting
Oh,
there.
God,
we
yeah.
should have let her
Been
sit
in
I
the
should
green
have
room.
showed up 10 minutes late.
That's right. You should be at the door right now, just like, oh, here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Just like on those Christmas specials.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when Dean Martin opened the door, that was the first time you actually saw those people?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, we should start doing that.
If we ever have a guest again,
Yeah.
this is very exciting because you are our first guest.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was just maybe the first female,
No.
but you guys have never had a guest before.
Well,
No.
we have,
All
Or
our
female.
females have refused.
yeah, Eric.
Oh dear, red flags.
Yeah, all over the place.
Well, you know, we drive up in Dave's Pacer, we roll the window down,
To say,
Hey,
hey,
you want to be on our show?
Yeah.
It's about
Run away.
cocktails.
we ask, are you old enough to drink? Like, now I hear it, it sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, we needed it's a real Me Too movement
we
for
need
us
to
here.
have them carded first somehow. I don't know how you
Carted right out back and
No.
The legal waiver makes a lot more sense.
Okay,
I
see,
signed
there you
when I
go.
came in here.
Lead with the legal waiver.
alright.
But Eric filled in once, but I think that's the closest we've had to a guest.
Yeah, we've had guest hosts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
never a guest, so we're just gonna pepper you with questions. So how did you hear about this show?
Fred.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm talking that once I had one listener, I figured that was it.
Yeah.
That's all we needed.
Yeah,
That's it.
he stopped there.
And Kate, you're a podcaster.
I'm a podcast hoster as well.
What's the name of your show?
It's called Missed Cues. It's about theater.
Ah.
My friend Tom Gage and I talk about the politics of theater, and we get interviews and things. It's great. It's glorious.
No, it's funny. I've done a lot of theater. I've never come across politics in theater.
There's a lot.
You're in the wrong part of the building.
You're drinking out back.
Yeah, if you're drinking out back, you're pretty much insulated from the politics of
Of course.
theater.
No, there's so much politics.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
It is actually like we try to keep it current, but we also try to keep it fun as well. We drink while we do it, as most podcasts do now. That's how you get through it. So we try to just have a conversation about modern day theater things, and we also play games usually. We play Marry, F, or Kill, and then we pick theater people that we want to murder.
Well-known theater
No,
people
like
or
characters.
just- Oh,
in
characters.
plays, yeah, so it's
Ah,
often.
so not Nathan Lane.
No.
Okay.
That'd be good too.
Oh, I like the idea of the characters though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the characters are funny. Some of them we don't know. Like, we fill out a spreadsheet and each of us pick one for each other, and then sometimes I don't know who Tom's talking about. Tom likes classic shows and I do not, so
Yeah.
it tends to get to a little bit of.
He leans towards the Greeks.
He leans towards Tennessee Williams, which
Yeah.
I think can,
Yeah.
die
Those,
slow down.
those people are all nasty. They're nasty people.
It's just depressing, but that's just me,
I don't know. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof ends happily for some of the characters.
I guess.
Ish. Right? They've decided to make a go of it despite everything. And
I don't know. I've never read it or seen it.
Yeah.
Well, there
No,
you're-
then
you're
I don't
better
want
than
to
us.
spoil it for you.
I read The Cat in the Hat in the Hot Tin Roof. It was much shorter.
It rhymed.
Right? I think the fish died in the end.
Yeah, that's the downer on that. So,
Everyone breaks up. No one's happy.
yeah. Yeah.
Love does not
A
prevail.
little bit like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's my podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where can people find it?
Anywhere you find podcasts.
Okay, iTunes, the whole.
Yeah, the whole spiel. Tom takes care of the technical side of it.
Ah.
I edit it. Yeah, it's great. It's fun.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's only 45 minutes. We edit our podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep
we're
it
real tight.
all the awkward. We used to truncate the silence.
Yeah.
And then we found out that the silence was really where the meat of the
Yeah, no, it's just the quiet moments that really make the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Harold
heard that.
Pincher of podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. See, maybe Dave could be a guest on your theater podcast.
That'd be great.
When in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Calgary. Oh,
Calgary.
Dear, get it right.
Oh, sorry.
I got a
Edmonton, Wales, Alberta.
Now we're gonna.
He said it was Edmonton.
I doubt that.
He doesn't know nothing.
No, France.
It's all Alberta.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Red Deer, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Regina.
And could you say that you were inspired to do a podcast because of us?
I was jealous because you were first.
Yeah.
But Tom and I had talked about it for about a year and then didn't do
Oh.
anything for about a year. And then you told us when we were writing an application for funding,
Right.
and then I Googled your name and that's what came up. I
Right.
was impressed actually.
Yeah, because we were drinking.
When I didn't have to remember the name of your podcast, I just had to look up your name.
Yeah, that helps.
And make sure I spell it right. And then, and then so we actually started recording. We recorded for about a year.
That's true. You guys did a lot of prep work.
We recorded for well over a year before we actually put anything to the air because we had a huge issue with perfection.
Mm.
Oh, well, again, that we
I know.
just
Just go right in
Just
there.
do it.
Hit
Yeah.
the record button, hit the stop button, then
I
we're
know.
done.
That was Fred's advice constantly. Just get it out there. So we
Get it out
finally, eventually I moved though. I was living up here and then I moved. But so Tom records in Langley and I record in Calgary and we edit and then we got it out finally and we're quite
Your
pleased.
software is working better. Your sound is.
The
much
sound was
better.
dodge. Don't bother with the first 3 episodes.
unless you're a completist.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's good material there.
Yeah. My husband built me like a sound room in my office, so that was really nice. That was his contribution. He doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, because
But
it's all
he helped
theater.
build it.
Because he hates theater.
He likes theater, he just doesn't like listening to theater.
Oh, that's right. Because he works in theater.
Yeah, but he's on the technical end.
Right.
So he put in where he knows best. Yeah, he made the room sound good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, tell them to come here.
I will, yeah.
Sound, I guess a studio.
We
We need some
Yeah.
baffles?
Yeah, egg
Baffles.
cartons on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Dave won't let me staple egg cartons onto the ceiling.
That's fair.
No,
That's
no,
fair.
no. They still have eggs in them.
They absorb the sound better.
But-
Little spherical cube.
But we're still doing cocktails.
Yeah.
For the show.
Oh,
Well, for this show?
Yeah,
For this show.
because I am a fan, and I think whenever I'm at a bar half cut, I always text Fred right away and ask him what to order.
Yeah, that's weird. And then she argues.
Really?
I do argue,
So you
yeah.
put the suggestion, say, no, I don't want
I know.
that?
I usually pick something else.
Yeah. No, okay, good to know.
Leave
Yeah,
me alone.
Yeah. But I've been, I was in Palm Springs, I was in Montreal. Whenever I was away, I was like, which one should I get?
Well, the paper plane.
That one turned out really good.
Yeah, and then we did it on the show.
Yeah, and me and one of the faculty members I was sitting with,
Yeah.
she also got a couple of those.
Yeah.
So that one turned out really good.
Yeah, no, that was a lucky little thing.
Well, what threw me for that one was they didn't have the ingredients.
Yes.
It just said paper plane.
So
and I was
I
like,
had
am I
to look it
supposed
up
to
and
know what
send it
this
to you.
is? Yeah, you Googled it for me. But yeah, that one's good.
Burning up all my data.
Oh, that's what it's there for.
I guess so. I guess so.
So what are we making on today's show?
Well,
For drinking.
Kate said cocktails based on rosé wine. I don't know because
So I came to this conclusion when I was in Palm Springs. I had, when you're in like a grocery store in the States and it's full of really good liquor.
oh yeah,
and
you
it's
can't
cheap.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like cans of various mix, and one of
Mhm.
them was a beer and a rosé, which I thought for sure was going to be super gross. So I bought it, of course, and then I tried it, and it was really good.
Oh.
And then I started calling it a brosé, and which actually has not been coined. I googled it, and I was like, I think I can change this. But it made me think it was kind of like a beer, which is kind of more of a guy's drink, and a rosé, which is a girl drink. So I thought it was a good one for me to come on
Yeah.
the Gents with. The brosé.
Yeah.
No.
But we didn't do that.
We're not gonna do
Well,
rosé.
then I googled other things.
Oh, okay. And then we Googled other things.
That's right.
We've chosen two in honor of you.
Great.
So
Let this outdo your bros.
let's see what we can do. But so Jason came up with one
Okay.
because he lost the link that you sent. But he came up with another.
I didn't so much lose it
as
I couldn't find it.
Oh.
Good
That's
point.
like losing that link, isn't it?
no, it's
The
Do you
link,
remember
the
the-
link lost you.
yes.
did Fred-
Maybe that's it.
Text us to say Kate wants to do drinks from this list, or did he email us that list? You remember?
He emailed, he texted me a link.
Oh,
Because I texted you the link.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it
And
just
then,
got
and so that's, I didn't go
Take
back
over.
because we text so much like
Right.
you and him, I didn't wanna go back through
Yeah.
the thing, because I thought, I don't know.
It's true. I just scroll a long way to get to
Yeah.
Dave's address.
In our last episode, we opened up a bottle of Lillet Blanc.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Parce que. It's like a
Psycho
bourbon.
It's a fortified wine.
It's a fortified wine.
Okay.
But it's a yummy ingredient, and the drink that I found, that I shared with old Fredders over here, was called the Rosé Bouquet.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
It's got Kina in it.
What's in it?
It's got 3 ounces of rosé, 1.5 ounces of gin, which we knew Dave had. You've heard about the giant tub of gin that Dave has?
Yeah, it's
Look,
great.
now you can touch it.
I'm
It's like
impressed.
the idol.
This was like $25 in Palm Springs.
Yeah. I know.
Lillet Blanc and a ruby red grapefruit juice. And so I went to the store this morning and got the rubiest, readiest juice blend I could find. Ocean Spray.
Oh, the fine people, future sponsors of the Gentlemen of Elegant Leisure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah.
But right now, Kate is our sponsor.
Yeah, that's right.
Because she suggested it. And you too could do this. You could suggest and then ask to come on the show. And you come on the show.
Probably.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
She's her own agent,
Yeah.
own manager.
Yeah.
She gets 15% of whatever she makes on the show.
So I owe you money at the end of the day.
Yes, but sadly, that's how it's worked so far.
And there's a rosemary sprig in it.
Oh,
Okay.
did you bring rosemary?
I did, right here.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yes, yeah.
I thought that was a salamander.
Well, it's not clean. So there's a chance that there is a salamander attached to it. It says build over ice in a lowball glass. And yet,
The low ball glasses.
by the sheer amount that's supposed to be in this,
Yeah,
we've chosen our tall bamboo glasses.
which we would like.
And what I think we're going to do is instead of building it like they say, we're going to tear it apart.
What?
Well, no, we'll put the ice in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be how it's going to be chilled. We'll,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
stir it in the glass.
That's what we got the big spoons for.
Hagada. And we're going to use the gigantic thing we do.
Yeah,
Cocktail shaker. Thank you very much.
because yeah, I can't take any chances.
No, here, wear that, would you? Stormtrooper Fred. And so we're gonna triple this and split it 4 ways.
Because math is our strong suit.
Yeah.
If there's one thing we've proven,
I guess if this was Kate's show, she'd probably edit out the math, whereas we will keep it
Yeah.
into.
yeah, all the
To our-
options. Although I think we did play some music over it last time.
I did last time, once.
Once.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
This is why I'm like 2 months behind in airing an episode.
The problem was division. We're not good with division.
Yeah.
Multiplication.
Oh yeah, no, we can multiply that crazy.
So we're gonna put in 3 ounces of rosé, which means 9 ounces of
Hello.
rosé.
Want me to open this?
Yeah, please. Well, here, it's gonna have 9 ounces of this too, so
That's
I'll-
a keg pour, right?
Yes.
The 9-ounce wine?
Yes, I think so.
That's the big
yeah.
one that
It's
they
the big
charge you
one.
$12 for.
Wow, we're gonna have to get.
Hey, this smells a lot like wine.
Really?
Yeah.
But you don't even like wine.
Yeah, I know. Ugh.
Should have thought this through.
It's yeah, I wasn't really planning ahead. It's okay if you mix it with other things like rum or gin.
Yeah, is it?
Well,
We're gonna
not as
find
good
out.
as if it wasn't in there, but you know, it's
this
one way
is
to
a
get rid
lot
of
of
it.
liquid.
Very thirsty.
Do we have ice in there?
Not yet.
Would you like to?
Not yet.
Okay. Move it within arm's
Did you lose
reach.
count yet? I've lost count.
I counted quietly in my head
Okay, that's good. That's key.
while everybody talked, which was perfect.
Yeah. You want this one?
Because otherwise, yes, I
Here
do.
we go.
Because otherwise, it doesn't work out very well.
So we've got mayo. What's that called? Mayoni?
Mimi, that's what you pronounce
Mimi? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mimi.
I don't have an accent.
Francais.
Mimi.
Mimi.
But it's from California. How can it be Francais? That's so confusing.
It's French people in California? The French part of California?
The French part of California. So that's central, mid, western, I don't
Napa?
know.
Napa?
Napa? Yeah, it's from the Napa Valley.
It gets really quiet in here when Jason's counting.
Yeah, no, we're afraid to throw him off, because I can't talk and count at the same time.
That's right, I'm doing okay. It's just
Yeah.
I am half aware that when the conversation
Yeah,
sort of dries up, because we got 3 people here that could talk while I'm doing this.
Exactly. But,
Seal that up, would you please?
All right, you had this before.
Me, yes.
And it's
Oui.
tasty?
I liked it, but I like wine, so.
Okay, well, I guess that's,
I checked out Kensington Wine Bar in my first couple weeks in Calgary, and
Yeah.
it's actually awesome down there. And that was what was recommended to us. And that's where we stayed for several hours.
well then that's probably a good call. I mean, I wanted a good wine.
In
And I
pure-
thought the more you paid, the better it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
Uh-oh.
I think rich people will tell you that's true,
Oh, okay.
just to justify the cost.
But literally, I walked in the door and there's a big stack of this right at the door, and I said, well, this must be the one everybody's drinking, so.
Well, and this was the trick with the rosé that I felt like you really need to know specifically which rosé and which beer, because I don't think you could pick anything. That could go very wrong.
Yeah.
So I was a little. That's why I didn't want to make it myself.
Well, when we did the beer cocktails, we found that not all raspberry beers are equal.
This is true.
Yes.
Unlike people, everybody's equal.
It's true.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, so
Don't be, it's not an earthquake.
They're blowing the conch. Gather around, people!
Everybody coming around?
What's 3/4 of an ounce times 3?
6 quarters of an ounce. 3/4 of an ounce times 3. It's 9 quarters.
What? Hang on.
Yeah, no, it's just math. Yeah,
Yeah,
9 quarters, which is 2 1/4 ounces.
2 1/4 ounces.
Yeah.
See, that was the answer we wanted.
Oh, I see. You didn't like 9 quarters?
Was that a test?
Didn't-
Yeah. See, you don't do that after the first drink.
So we're doing
Right.
2 1/4 ounces?
Or you get better after the first
Yeah.
drink. I don't care.
You care less.
All right.
Potato.
Thank you. Oh.
There's some people haven't shown up yet.
So this is the most liquid we've had on it. This is like a bucket.
This is great.
At the end of a wine tasting,
The
there's
big
not
one
this
was
much
necessary
liquid.
for sure.
It was for sure, because it's like a liter of liquid here. So now, if you were making this at home, you would use 3 ounces of rosé, 1.5 ounces of gin, 3/4 of an ounce of Lillet Blanc, and 3 ounces of red ruby grapefruit juice, and you'd build it in ice. You'd put ice in a glass, and you'd pour all that in, and you'd stir it up, and you'd serve it with a small grapefruit wedge that I didn't read about,
Hence, we don't have it.
Normally, I would have brought the grapefruit.
and a
wedge.
rosemary sprig that I did read about. And so we're gonna just put ice into our big glasses here. And then we're gonna build it in there, because it's already, I'm gonna stir it in this guy,
Oh, okay.
right? We must have at least 2 in one of these. Somebody's gonna get 3. Kate gets 3.
I'm getting ripped off here.
We use this guy here. Just to mix it up.
Also, like a dry stir.
I don't know if there is such a thing as a dry stir, sir.
Just a dry shake. Without ice, dry shake. Technical term.
Therefore, just
I just heard about last week.
Now the worst thing about metal is you can't see through it. Unless you're Superman.
Are you
Can he
super-
see?
I'm not.
He can't see through lead though, can he?
He can't see through. So let's just dump it in here. Go halfway up to the bamboo. And then we'll share it out from there. Oh, look at this. It's a lovely
It's
color.
a nice color. Ruby red.
Maybe Fred should be taking some pictures.
Oh, God. It's like,
Yes. I can't do still and video.
Dave's only one man, Fred.
that's what he keeps telling me, but I don't know if that's really true.
I'm excited about the rosemary sprig, I have to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I legitimately only grow herbs in my garden that I can put in cocktails.
And do you have rosemary?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sage, mint, basil.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
They go in most gin and tonic.
I have a couple of rosemary plants because I also like to do the occasional barbecue stuff that can call for a nice big sprig laid judiciously into something. All right, let's hope that this has chilled everything enough.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad about the grapefruit wedge because I think I did say I was bringing it, but there's lots of grapefruit in there already.
Oh, it's chock-a-block full.
Yeah.
It's like chicken bones. So yes, that's all I'm looking at. Kate will verify. It smells like
It
rosemary.
smells lovely, like
Does it?
turkey dinner.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be nice though, a little turkey wing stuck on the side. A little stuffing maybe, I don't know.
That goes well with grapefruit juice.
You never know.
Deux,
Or not,
trois? No, I don't think you have to do it with
I guess not with rosemary.
No, not with rosemary. Not with the rosemary I knew growing up.
Alright, now, now I gotta get another picture.
You do.
Now it's got the
You get the
sprig.
nice one here
We
with
got the
the
nice one. We'll get
Is there a
one.
coin?
We'll get one on our podcast too.
Yes, to cross-pollinate.
We will cross. Our 4 viewers or listeners can join your 5.
R5. I'll create a mighty juggernaut.
To our guests.
To our
Thanks
guests.
for having me.
Yes,
Cheers.
Thank you for
Cheers, cheers.
suggesting this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Get some rosemary right off the nosy nose.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It is grapefruity.
I can taste the rosé though.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't taste is the gin.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
Was there
the
gin in
gin is-
there? I forget.
Actually, right at the very end, I get gin because there's something that rides along the back unless that's more wine aftertaste.
Yeah, I'm
I feel like
right at the end, like right at the finish is gin.
yeah. I feel like the wine kind of overpowers the gin.
Yeah, well, 3 ounces of grapefruit juice and 3 ounces of wine. That's the team. I think the gin's just there to get you drunk faster.
Then we can actually call it a cocktail, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that the rule?
that's it, I think so.
Three or more ingredients?
2 or more, because I think a martini counts, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Because it's got the vermouth and the
Okay.
gin.
Okay.
It
I
really
think if
doesn't
it's
take
just
much.
gin, then it's not a cocktail.
Then you're just a drunk.
Yeah,
I did-
or the
I
Prime
did-
Minister of England.
I came prepared with cocktail questions because Fred told me to.
Oh, wow. So you can put us on the spot.
Uncalled for and unwelcome. I don't know about this at all. All
I
right.
also think they're hilarious, but apparently I'm the only one when I ask my husband, so.
Now, I said we would answer to the best of our ability, because as I think we've stated time and time again.
We've
don't
Kate
know.
stated.
We've Kate
See
stated.
what I did there?
Yeah.
We have Kate's takes on miscues, and that's when I go to page 4 of Bing and look at weird theater facts.
Any example off the top of your head before we go into cocktail questions?
First of all,
I'm
why
always
the hell
drunk
are
on the
you
show
using
today.
Bing?
Well, I was trying to dig deep.
Who uses Bing?
That's how you get random answers.
Ah.
The Bing will
Oh.
only give you things like, why are you bringing up this?
Don't you use Bing to access the dark web?
That's kind of what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
I'm trying to think of one. It's been a while since we did Kate's takes. I think there was one, like, I tried to look at, like, weird, like, theaters riddled with, what do you call it?
Superstitions. Yes.
And I was trying to find ones I'd never heard of, or where they came from. One of them was that it was really bad luck to have blue on stage, blue with silver, which I never heard. I felt like these are things that you tend to teach me about, is these really, really old man facts about theater.
Almost everything there is now is an old man fact.
That's what we call them, old man facts.
Yeah. But blue, apparently, back in the day, the dye was really expensive. So if you were about to go out of business, you would try to like get everything looking blue and silver so that you look like you were doing very, very well. So people would invest.
Oh.
So it's considered bad luck. Because you'd probably go bankrupt the next day.
Right, which is a very theater thing to do, though.
Go bankrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we'll see how
And
the
leave
season
town.
goes.
And the all your blue stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, well, let's have some cocktail questions. We've never.
No.
Now, keep in mind, I wrote these during a wedding, which I thought were
Perfect.
hilarious. Okay, other than the silent H, what is the difference between shaken and stirred?
Shaken and stirred.
Really though, that came from me just wondering what the difference between shaken and stirred was.
Well,
But I was trying to throw Sean Connery in there.
what?
I will start.
Stirred. Yes. Sure. So, Jay.
I believe.
Yeah.
And then you guys can cut me off.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm gonna cut you off right now.
I believe that the shake. Oh my gosh. That's the
The
conch.
Gong Show.
I'm get the hook. That a shake would probably chill a drink faster and better, but also water it down.
Right.
And in the end result, you'll get a cloudier drink for a while as all the ice crystals settle. Whereas a stirred one Takes a little bit longer to chill,
Right.
but when it does do it, it's not as watered down and it looks like you could just drink it right away.
Yeah. You don't get the air bubbles as well, so that's the other thing that makes it cloudy too. When you shake it, you get entrain all the air.
Old man fact number 1.
Was there some kind of like, my guess too was it's like Americans versus British people in some sort of James Bond fashion between shaken and stirred. That was my guess.
Yeah. I haven't come across that because they shake. I think it's the dilution and the appearance. Like you want it to be crystal clear, and that's like who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
As
my.
long as it tastes good. So what's
Yeah.
your preference?
I like the shake.
I like the shake because it looks good too, and it's the only exercise I get.
Sure.
Davey, what do you think?
I don't
Shake
care.
Yeah. As long as
Just hook it to my veins.
as long as it's cold.
As long as it's cold.
I don't think I could tell, other than one may or may not have ice in it.
I think if you dig deep enough into cocktail lore, ooh, God, I think I did, and now but now I'm past it. It's actually called a cobbler shaker, right?
Yes,
And
a
it was,
cobbler.
and it was only used for that drink. It was probably to actually mix something that was hard to mix, whether it was an egg or some big. Oh,
Don't
I said the
answer.
secret word.
You say cobbler.
The show's live.
Say the secret word, you win $100. So, I think it was also to break up something. It was either like it was a fruit component or there was-
Right. Yeah. So fruit. Yeah. So the cobbler
Yeah.
that had fruits. You wanted to mush it all up.
Yeah, and then people started to shake all the time. I think partly for the show.
Yeah. Then there's the Boston shaker, which Jason has warned me not to get
What is
time
that?
and time again.
I just don't think you can handle it.
So the
Is
Boston
it bigger
shaker.
than that one?
No, Boston shaker is two
In a
tin,
way,
a tin with a
Oh yeah,
glass.
those are hard to break apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Well, they go. I don't know. The real guys just go.
They crack it.
Yeah.
Because
But I've had it stuck before.
But you just sort of stick them together, and it's yeah, and you
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of hold them.
That's part of the show.
Yeah, it'd be like shaking 2 bricks, it seems to me, while trying to hold them together, even though I know it's
And at
not
the end,
that.
they do this thing, right? Where
Yeah,
they-
yeah,
what
they-
I'm doing here is
Yeah.
tossing it back and forth.
Adding nothing to it.
When to stir and when to shake a cocktail.
Oh.
Because that's actually one of our gentlemen's newsletters.
Oh, okay.
It's deciding whether you should shake or stir a cocktail has nothing to do with bruising the booze. Booze doesn't have a circulatory system, unlike this.
Right.
And everything to do with your ingredients and their relative densities. In the words of my favorite bartender, Daniel Casteau, not my favorite bartender.
No,
You're my.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
And do you want something stirred and boozy or shaken and refreshing? If your drink is all alcohol, as in a martini, the densities are all going to be, if not exact the same, extremely close, meaning you won't need a whole lot of agitation to bring everyone together. However, once you start adding juices and thick, viscous syrups, you're going to need it to create a little more turbulence to make sure you have a homogeneous beverage without a pool of cold syrup at the bottom.
I see.
He
Well, there
can't
you
hold his liquor.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I know, I'm not even done my first cocktail.
This one is full of buzz.
So there you go, there's a little.
All right. Basic facts.
Yeah.
What is a malt and why is it single?
This is a question or a joke?
These are a little bit of both. Dave. This is why I asked you to listen to my podcast first. Jason refused.
It's single because it's smart,
Yeah.
and it's... What is it, a malt? It's a malted barley.
Barley. So I mean, they're all malts. In some respect, all whiskeys are blended or not. They're made from malted barley.
What's malted though? Like in
That's
sits in water or something?
yeah. It's some water.
I guess it soaks enough to sprout.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it sprouts, they kill it.
Yes.
Ooh,
Ooh.
it's like veal.
It is like it's the veal of alcohol.
Harsh.
Oh,
Maybe we should all
yes.
lay off scotch for a while.
It's got to get that sugar activated, I think, right? And then
Yeah.
that super sugar,
Mhm.
and then you're,
And then you-
kill it.
And it's single because it's with blended whiskeys, they take a whole bunch of whiskeys and blend it to get the right flavor they want. The single malt just means it's right out of the cask,
I see.
so it's not been
So
blended.
there's no such thing as like a double malt. It's either single or blended.
Yeah, it's either you're either blended or you're not. It's sort of like
Okay.
being pregnant. I understand.
I think so, but I think it's in flux because I'm not sure about this, but I think I have a blended single malt. And what they did was they used a single malt, agadaga, a blended single malt. No, sorry, a single malt. They made a whiskey
Right.
out of a single malt, but they stored it in 6 different barrels. They aged it in 6 different barrels, like 6 different batches.
Right.
So one part of it went in the port one went in the bourbon one went in this wine one,
Right.
and then they poured it all together into the blend
Okay.
from a single malt with a bunch of different
So
flavors.
it's blended within itself.
Yes.
I see. That sounds good.
That sounds like a way to make a lot of extra money.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole booze thing, I think is gonna catch on.
I feel like investing in a craft brewery is where you want to go these days.
Yeah, well, like Kwantlen now has the brewery course.
Yeah, so does that
Actually,
do?
the distillers, you wanna skip the bourbon, I mean, if they're distilling as well,
Yeah.
that's where you wanna go.
Yeah, and you start with gin,
Mhm.
because it only takes 2 minutes.
You
Whereas
start with
the whiskey takes 12 years.
vodka first.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Everybody starts with vodka,
Yeah.
and then they add some juniper in it and say, hey, we got gin, look everybody!
Did you guys hear about, like, Pabst Blue Ribbon, the beer?
Yes.
It's a really cheap beer.
Mhm.
So the hipsters love it, and they love the wear. So PBR sort of like bounced on that and started making a lot of swag. And then they decided to make a whiskey because hipsters like whiskey.
Wow.
Now the rule for whiskey is it has to be aged in Canada. That is the legality.
3 years.
3 years, I think it has to be.
I don't know if they're, I don't know, but they did a thing where they said PBR whiskey aged 5 seconds. And that's their whiskey that they're selling there.
Well, that's like, so that's like moonshine,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Unless they've
gross.
added some sort of color
It's
to it.
gross. It's super gross.
Oh, they had it?
No, I don't think it's ready yet.
It's 5
It's
seconds.
been more than 5 seconds. Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
Okay, I only heard about aquavit through this podcast.
Mhm.
Why, and this, I brought this up with someone else, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Why did I think aquavit was a cologne?
You're thinking
That's
Aqua
more a question.
Aquavelva, yes!
Don't drink that.
No.
Well, it's a good mix.
Oh, all right.
But then when you were talking about it, and you were so grossed out about cardamom? No. Caraway seeds. Right, caraway seeds are gross because they look like bugs. And that's why I don't like them.
Oh, okay.
We should
But
have
I
brought some wine.
I tend to agree with like the things that you're grossed out on. I'm like full on board for all the things. Do you hate cilantro as well?
Yes, with a big asterisk next to it.
Oh, so you don't.
I do, because there's a check mark above the asterisk and a divided sign next to it, and then 3 dots and then another
Did
line.
it change when you turned 50?
Yeah, that doesn't help at all. I think, and I blame North Americans for this.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
We tend to go about things, I think, all in the wrong way. So if a European had said, it would make that great cilantro, and the first chef says, yeah, cilantro, and so the pizza has to be green with cilantro. I read your thought. And so everything at Milestones for the longest time, everything had cilantro in it, and it was too much,
Yeah.
and we weren't ready for it because it's cilantro.
Yes.
It's bitter and kind of
It tastes like Old Spice, like the cologne.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Old Spice.
Yeah.
Soapy.
Yeah, why? What's with these colognes?
Yeah.
I apparently have an aversion to things that taste like cologne.
But as I branched out into different stuff to eat, and you start to come across, I think a lot of Thai dishes have cilantro, a lot of Indian
Burritos.
dishes, yeah, a lot of, and like, of course, a lot of Mexican stuff, but it's used sparingly. And you go, oh,
Just
right.
don't use too much.
Don't eat it by a handful, like you're trying to lure a donkey.
Apparently, there's like 10% of people who have a genetic. I'm not calling it a disorder. It's a right order.
It's a
So
predisposition.
you haven't found even the slightest use for cilantro.
Because if I get it like in a burrito and I say no cilantro, but sometimes it sneaks its way in there, like it's in the rice. And I have one teeny bit out of my gigantic burrito. The burrito's done for me.
Wow.
That's all I can taste for the rest of the day, and I want to die.
What if
And
it was in
used
a
to-
pico de gallo?
Right, like I ask for no pico anymore.
Oh.
Because it's always, so basically my burritos at a lot of places are just meat and
Just-
cheese and rice.
Nothing wrong with
It's
that.
a North
And
American
sauce,
burrito.
right? Yeah. And then they side eye you, like big time.
Yeah.
Like no cilantro. When I lived in California for a while, I had to tell everybody I was allergic, otherwise they don't take you seriously. Because it's everywhere, because
Yes.
it's all like Mexicans down there. And like, yeah, no. I used to walk past it. I worked next to Granville Island, and I would go get a sandwich there for lunch all the time in the market. Walk past the grocery lane, get a huge whiff, and then I started taking a different route.
Yeah, no, you don't like cilantro. You are
Yeah, I'm no doctor.
It is the devil weed.
Yeah, as I say, I've come around to it in mild stuff, but when Dave and I went to Milestones a lot, briefly in about 1999. 98, 99.
That's when I graduated high school.
There you go. See, you could have hung out with a couple of swingers at Milestones.
My parents probably wouldn't let me.
Worst that would have happened is you would have had cilantro. But there was a lot of cilantro at Milestones back then. Do you remember us going to Milestones relatively a lot? As opposed to now when we never ever go.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
they used to add it to all their pizzas and it used to
Yeah.
be plentiful.
yeah, we would get the barbecue chicken pizza.
Mhm.
Beyond that, and but almost anything. Like the joke was if you got a drink at Milestones, you're like, oh, is there cilantro in that?
For real, I think they do that now.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like infused vodkas now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, the cilantro infused vodka, that sounds great.
Those can rot in hell. Like
Yeah.
that sounds like a nightmare to me.
See, I bought into it. They said, this is something that people eat, and I said, really? Alright, sure, that's something people eat, right, so I'm eating it.
You have to climb Mount Cilantro. This will,
I will come to peace.
you'll come to be, you'll become one with the cilantro.
I tried really hard to like live in a quality lifestyle, but cilantro is just one of those things
Wow.
that I will forever be racist against.
Racist. Goodness. I know
We've
that's-
crossed the line now, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But,
I would
feel free to swear.
I'm not allowed to swear on the show.
10 years to come to peace with cilantro, but I wouldn't rush into it. Try just a little tiny piece to start.
Oh, I've tried it. It sneaks its way into my burritos
No,
all the time.
you're worried about it, and it's going to always get you. Yeah.
I can.
So what's our opinion of this first cocktail?
I am.
Thank you for bringing us back to Earth.
Oh, actually,
Earthbound.
it's kind of neat to go back and you always get the rosemary in there. So I think that's a neat.
You know what would be neat would be cilantro in this.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Just like
Oh,
a
I've got some.
Oh,
That's how you get rid of the guest.
Yeah.
Okay, the guest is too much. Throw cilantro in the
That's right,
drink.
just an empty spinning chair. Where the hell did Kate go? That wasn't even a spinning chair when she arrived.
It was like a roadrunner just came through.
I do like this, and it reminds me of something else that I've had,
Mm.
and I can't put my finger on it, or in it,
Mm.
which is just as well, because I'm going to be making the next thing, perhaps.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
Yeah, I
festive.
like it.
It's like
That was
boozy
refreshing.
grapefruit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I like it after it sits, because now that I'm tasting it, I'm not getting such a wine hit. Not that I didn't like the wine hit, but now it seems more blended.
This one's not about the wine. It's about
No.
the grapefruit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you
no,
think
it is.
there's too much rosemary though?
No.
Like it's kind of like overpowering.
Wow.
That's
Maybe
good.
because my smell
Yeah.
overpowers my taste.
We've our
This
noses
could
are.
be why you don't like cilantro.
Mhm.
You could be technically some sort of super creature. We might have
That's
to be
right. I
tested by the
will
government.
search for drugs at the airport.
That's right.
or anywhere else. That's just her
What are you
thing.
doing in my?
At a Kiss concert.
Get out of my purse.
What do you think of it, Dave?
I like it. I thought it was refreshing. I thought it was a good summer kind of drink.
Yeah.
See, I don't get the rosemary so much that it's off-putting. To me, it's just like a little bonus.
I wouldn't say it's off-putting. I just found it like overpowering.
Oh, that's.
Your nose is still working.
Is that worse?
Give it 10 years.
I don't know.
If I found somebody that was off-putting and somebody that was literally overpowering,
Mhm.
what would you not want to? Who would you not want to be around?
One is Axe body spray,
Yeah.
and the other is cilantro.
There you go.
But,
It's all, you know what it is? It's a funny, weird, different sangria is what it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Instead of sangria with a red wine and a brandy, here you've got a rosé and a gin and a Lily Blanc, and your fruit is the red ruby red grapefruit juice.
I think Lily Blanc gets the short end of the stick on this.
That was in there?
Yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't pay attention to that
No.
at all.
There was
Have
2
you ever had
1/4
it? You never had
ounces.
any.
Oh.
Did you get a little shot glass? You can have a little taste.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
grab a shot glass there.
You got a good stash here, Dave.
That's my wife's collection.
I don't even have to like
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah. That's my wife's
No, everybody's
collection
house
of,
should be set up where you can grab the booze and the glasses without
Is
getting
Wow.
that not for too much?
No, this is lovely.
So, but
It
yeah.
should not be set up that way because I would
Oh.
never leave my house.
Oh, right.
You know, we don't have a wine rack for a reason.
I just have a booze cupboard.
We have a wine rack and it's always empty
Oh.
on account of someone buys wine and drinks it.
No.
Say, well, don't you want to save that till tomorrow so it can sit on the rack? No. Why
No.
would I do
Yeah,
that?
we're the same.
Yeah, you get about.
We have one sitting in there, and I was determined to cut back on my weekly drinks.
Mhm.
So I went to Safeway and bought one of the non-alcoholic wines. It's
Oh.
been sitting there for about a month and a
That's
half.
that's a good way to have a night and keep your wine rack. Well, you should try that.
I should.
Everyone's
It's a
drinking.
non-alcoholic wine.
You should get wine and then cover it with a layer of cilantro. And be like,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's how you quit smoking.
Yeah.
Cilantro. So how's the Lillet Blanc?
It's quite lovely, actually. I thought it was going to be kind of strong, but
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be
sugary, but not in a gross way.
It's 17%, which is a little on the high side. And you knock that back pretty quick, so that's impressive.
I got skills.
Yeah.
I hung out with Scott Wheeler for a few times.
It'll either,
The police will want to be in touch with you.
it'll either kill you or make you stronger.
That's right.
Yeah, no, actually I feel like
And it's-
if we were going to redo it,
Mhm.
I would say half the grapefruit,
Right?
and then everything else the same.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, because it is a real grapefruity.
It's a grapefruity drink.
Which
Yeah.
I like, but
Oh yeah, I'm
But if-
definitely allergic to it.
oh,
so.
sure you are because of your
Oh.
heart medication.
The next half of the show is how to cure anaphylactic shock.
I hope it involves Woodford Reserve.
All educational. Are you going to do the next drink?
Oh, Kate's gonna do it.
Oh, Kate's
She's
gonna do it.
kindly agreed to.
Well, I think this is very cool.
I don't know if I agreed. I think Fred sort of imposed it.
no,
I
I'll
will
have
do
to,
it.
So what do we
I will
call
do
you?
it.
Do we call you an honorary gentleman of elegant leisure, or do you want to be a do you want to be a lady of elegant leisure? I guess
Gentle
you
person.
I think of a lady at all.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I like that.
I identify.
A dame?
I identify with lady, so I
Dame.
will go with the dame of because dames are dudes dressed like ladies, right?
or
No, like Dame Judy Dench.
Oh, right. So I'm being knighted today.
Yeah, it's like
Obviously.
you've been knighted.
Yeah. Okay.
But because of your attitude, I don't think you're going to be a lady.
This is true.
He's definitely great.
That would be a long shot.
What do you grab?
The simple syrup.
Oh, the simple syrup, right?
Yeah.
Because mine was all cloudy and was polymerizing, or turning into a new life
I
form.
think it's because of the rainstorm today.
And I
Is
left
your simple syrup a barometer?
it in my.
Do you have a lot of mercury also in
I think it's a preservative. It kills all the germs normally.
Keels?
Yeah,
Keels all the
heals on the town.
And this dame of the Royal Empire, well, she's better, so she doesn't need your help. She's an independent young
Well, no, that's good. I like to sit
I'm
back
gonna
and let
shed
other
a
people do
layer
my
of
work.
this too. It's hot in the gym.
Simple
It's
syrup.
It is, it's not normally that hot.
because I'm here. That's
Yeah.
That's right, that's what it is. We
Okay,
usually have
so
three
now
people.
I cannot do math, and I'm not even gonna pretend. So
That's
what are we
right.
doing? Are we tripling it or quadrupling it? I forget what you said.
We were gonna triple
I
it.
do have to drive home, so you know.
Okay. Well, you want to do half C's?
Oh, this is shake. Okay,
I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
double,
Three quarters.
double.
No, we'll do it 3 times. You don't have
Three.
to finish the drink. I know
Okay.
you well.
That's true.
Are you kidding me? It's in front of me.
So here's the Woodford.
Okay, so
And then we'll help her with the math. in
now I
case you get stuck.
really don't need you talking while I'm counting because that
Okay.
will be a
well,
nightmare.
This might be an edit. Of my
Yeah.
involved.
Well, I'm gonna make some juice.
Okay, you make juice.
So okay, wait. We said 3, right? Times 3.
You want ice in there first?
And so,
Is that what I'm supposed to do? You guys are the pros.
yeah, we should throw some ice in there
Okay.
first.
Okay. I really liked Woodford Reserve, by the way. Did you get this because I told you to get this, or did you know this about this?
Over half of it's gone, so no.
Oh, okay. Well, I told you about it a long time ago.
Oh, I've been drinking
2
that
ounces.
for.
Yeah.
On
I
the
got
side
this. I
then,
got
uh,
that bad boy at home.
Oh, perfect, because I had the Canadian one that had it on the inside. Oh, no, I had the American one that had it on the inside, and then we did a drink once, and I started to go by this, I went, oh, I got 4 ounces, and I was, I just 4 tablespoons, the whole thing was wrong,
I
so.
actually originally was using this for my fancy coffee that I was making at home, so it turned all brown, but then it turned into something that I use for cocktails.
So we're gonna want 6 ounces
Okay.
for the purposes of today's show.
So I'm gonna count out loud for our viewers. So
Sure.
2.
2!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 4.
4.
Should we have used the big one?
I know, I think we're gonna be okay on this one, because it was ounces and ounces of wine in
6.
that.
Okay, 1 ounce. So 3 ounces of fresh lemon juice. So Fred, our barmaid, is
Yeah, sorry.
busily.
Sure.
He's our little sous chef.
Okay.
Here, throw it in there so you don't spill everywhere,
Okay.
and we'll see if we can get.
I spilled everywhere anyway.
Alright, so that's 2 ounces.
We need 1 more ounce of.
It's also got seeds, because we like a lot of roughage.
Oh, do we have? Oh, I
For
didn't
those
I
realize.
don't,
of you
want, I don't want roughage.
Don't
I
worry,
think
we're
I
gonna
had no
strain that.
choice.
We got the strain, so have no fear.
I've got one more lemon,
One more lemon?
as they say in France.
Lemon.
And then we're gonna need an ounce of that. We're also gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup.
Okay.
So what is that gonna be? 2 1/4
2
again?
and a quarter again.
All right, so we can jump ahead with the
So
simple
you
syrup.
got the memory.
Oh yeah, no, I'm locked
full
and
of-
loaded.
You're
2 1/4. Is that what you said?
2 and a quarter. That's just.
2. Nice and clear. 1/4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And by that point, we should have got another ounce of that.
You guys are really efficient.
Oh, yeah, no, this is, we're like an assembly line. We're like Ford
Really just
Motor
showing
Company.
off for you.
Where's the 1 ounce?
It's
On the
Big
outside.
number
it's
one on the side.
here, so it's about 30 milliliters or 1 tablespoon on the middle. Yeah,
I'm gonna
sorry.
edit this out. This thing doesn't pour where it's shut.
Well, this is
Oh,
why
that was
I,
perfect.
this is why I wanted to quit the
So
show.
everybody for
Now you
will know for the
understand.
future, half a lemon is 1 ounce.
That's right. Perfect.
Okay.
And then we're
I
gonna need-
3.
Oh, you want some of this?
We need 1.5 ounces of dry rosé wine. Now, do we have any?
Just barely.
Oh my gosh.
I'm taking this one.
Take
No,
your
I'm not
home
drinking it.
tonight.
An ounce and a half? Is that?
1.5 ounces.
Okay. So Jason's doing all the math for me. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't have to do much of the hard work. And then lemon to peel to garnish. So
Oh, yeah.
you have the peeler dealy.
I'll
do
take
it by
that.
hand.
You're gonna
Okay.
shake
You
this
know what works
monkey
really
up.
good is
Vegetable peeler?
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
use at home.
No.
We like to see him take off at least a layer.
Dude, your
of
house is very nice. I don't want to like.
Oh no, shake the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, go crazy.
I laughed so hard when you guys were doing the shaker with the soda.
Oh.
You were the one.
Oh my god! Because it was like one. You were like, I'm trying it, and Dave's like, get the towel.
There's
Yeah.
just no way.
That was an ill-conceived thing.
Yeah, that was right in the recipe.
They were wrong. Basically, you're just putting water in there at that point, right? You're
Yeah.
shaking it all
Oh,
out.
yeah, we gotta shake it more than that.
Oh, okay.
That's Jason, he's
Let's give it that crazy one.
crazy.
Remember, it's the what did we say on the thing? Oh, it's super full. I understand why you're doing that. Yeah, no, you were entirely right. Don't listen to me at
You're
all.
trying to be a gentle dame.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a better word.
A gentle day.
Gentle dame.
The gentle dame.
So we're using this.
Yes.
Okay, now it says, hang on.
I don't know. I might be.
Strain onto rocks. So we need more rocks.
Oh, did I used all the rocks.
Oh, you stole this one. I was reading. No, I didn't. No, I have
Slowly
this one.
pour the. Oh, okay,
Is
straight
that all the
into-
ice, Dave?
Oh God! I gave you the bum steer. Welcome to the show. This is where we're supposed to float the wine on top, but it's going to end up in the drink anyway.
Okay, whatever.
See,
Remember you were worried about the layer.
It's not happening now.
It's not happening.
Have some lemon.
Okay. Well, we gotta twist it or something.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta twist it, but when you do the glass.
So we're not doing rocks. We're just pouring. Is that what we're doing now?
That's what we're going to do.
Because I used all the ice in the.
Bastardize this version.
Yeah,
This
extra ice in
cocktail.
the freezer. No.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
That's fine. Ice. Ooh, that's a different color than I thought it would be.
But we could. It was either a very unhealthy sample or an extremely healthy sample. There might be enough ice cubes in it that we could.
Oh,
shake it.
we could salvage
Tear 'em
some
out.
of
It's
it.
cold, whatever.
Well, sometimes a little dilution is good, especially if we're gonna be here for another 20 minutes.
We have been diluting ourselves for several years, so a little bit more dilution now isn't gonna.
This is hard to know, like how much is in here.
I know.
You
no
guys
fun,
are
right?
you guys are right about stuff.
You see, we had to have a witness come to the show.
Yeah.
There's
I
some paperwork you
also
have to
I
sign
heard
afterwards.
Jason say that he was having a hard time
I
guessing
had a
how
whole
much.
bit where I was gonna really say that Dave is a real person, even though he doesn't say anything on the show. Dave is real, you guys.
I'm behind the scenes.
And
kind
his
of
partner
guy.
is real too. I saw her coming through the door.
That's right.
She does get drink samples, apparently.
And there's like literally no ice left.
There's literally no
That's
ice
okay.
left.
We're doing our own.
Or
This
virtual.
is Kate's take.
That's not literal.
No, virtually? It's a little bit of both.
This is Kate's take on this
Yeah.
That's right. This
rosé whiskey sour.
should be served in a chilled cocktail glass. We're going to do what Kate actually wants to do.
This doesn't look as pretty as I thought it was going to. Oh, but we didn't do it right.
Yeah, but we didn't do it right.
So, imagine it is layered, though.
Oh, if it
Yeah,
was
I'm
I did
layered.
look at the pictures, though, and it didn't look very layered in the pictures. So I think you're
We
doing
were
just
supposed
fine.
to do like a whole nice, pretty pink.
We were gonna put, yeah, well,
I was
put it
trying to
in,
make
we're
it look
gonna pour
girly.
the
Now it's
wine.
just a hot
It was
mess.
my problem. I misled. I was all excited. Thank you very much about the math. It
Yeah,
was all about the math.
I think it is all about the math.
So distracting.
But this looks.
It smells whiskey-like.
It smells great.
It does smell very much.
Yes. So the tin cup whiskey is what it calls for, but that's a
Right.
Colorado whiskey.
We use
Right.
Woodford.
So the tin,
Woodford.
yeah, so the tin cup is a sort of a rye forward, and Woodford they say has a lot of rye in it. And I wouldn't say it's a rye tasting bourbon.
Ooh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it is nice.
Are you
Yeah.
sure it's okay?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. My cousin
Oh
Dave
my
always.
goodness.
Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? Holy cow. My cousin
That's
Dave
a
always
winner.
chastises me when I see him because he says, you know, you guys never don't like a drink on the show. which is not entirely true, but it's 99.99% true.
Because we pick things properly.
And we're drunk.
We're drunk. That's why I was drawn to the show immediately. Smile.
No, because you can tell sometimes from looking at them if they're going to be good or not. There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
I feel like I found a good one. That was good.
Yeah.
This is 2 for 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the paper plane and then I got this one.
Whenever you're in town, you are you get to do the whole show.
This is great.
No, this is what I think of as a cocktail.
Yeah.
So here's what I do. I sit down at the table and they say, "Oh, what have you got?" I say, "Oh, that rosé thing? Sure, I'll have that." You get a picture of that, you share it around. Then they say, "Do you want to order your food?" And I say, "No, I don't want to order my food yet. I want a cocktail. I want to try that whiskey sour thing."
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Yeah.
So
The rosé bouquet was definitely more for like a group of people hanging out at a cabin or something
yeah.
with a pitcher. Yeah. This is just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah,
I don't-
sorry,
I
I
don't
only have
share
enough for
this.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing this guy.
But you got a whole bottle. Yeah, I know.
This is for me and my lobster.
Yeah.
This is lovely. Yeah.
So it's
Simple syrup.
it's like a whiskey sour
On account of the whiskey.
on account of the whiskey. Good call.
I actually can't taste the rosé, but
it's-
I wonder if we did it the right way.
it brings the
It was going to end up in there anyway.
no. It's that fruitiness because it mellows out the lemon. Because we've had lots of, I don't know if you're familiar with lemon, but we've had a lot of cocktails with lemon in it. And it just sort of is and this has got that, but it's got a little mellowing effect, and I think that's the rosé.
Like it makes you go at the end.
Yes, that's right, which I do a lot of.
I want to see, like, I feel like you guys always do this where you try the one thing to see if you can taste it.
You want to pour it?
So I feel like we need to try a little bit of this
That's a good idea.
Oh, just on its own to see what it
rosé on its
tastes
own.
like.
Sorry, I'm not using my words.
Oh, that's
just a
tough because this
smidge.
is being recorded.
I know.
I'm using my hand gestures.
I'll try some of that.
Okay, and then
Uno more.
you have Jessica.
Oh, fantastic.
But just to see if you can taste the Mimi.
It smells like cilantro.
There is a
Is that
certain
what wine is to you is what cilantro
And I don't
is to
know,
me.
temperature-wise, we're probably not bang on this. This is a rosé that has not been.
This one should be chilled, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's not.
I don't know, I think sometimes super chilling something, it makes it harder to actually taste.
I would say that this should not be super chilled, but only slightly chilled.
When you say it like that, I believe you.
I would serve this at 64 degrees Fahrenheit,
Mm.
and I would wait until I could bang it with my chin. Yeah, I would go a little cooler than that, but you're right. If you're just going to chill the hell out of it, you can't taste anything.
But it's, you know.
Now I can taste it though.
And it's called Mimi.
Mimi.
Very selfish. It's spelled M-E-I-O-M-I,
Yeah,
but you claim.
that's the pretentious way of spelling Mimi.
You gotta put your chin out.
Mhm.
It's like spelling Sean, S-E-A-N,
Mhm.
instead of S-H-O-N.
Unifying three of California's most notable. What's that like? Sorry, I'm Robin Leach for a second there. Unifying three of California's most notable coastal areas.
Yeah? Which are they?
Like, isn't
Malibu?
Malibu.
Long Beach?
Isn't it only the Pacific coast?
Yeah, I think it's just the one.
There's the one.
This is people who haven't graduated.
It builds a foundation for one dynamic blend. With a soft hand in the cellar. Oh dear. And
When you decide to
gentle
release.
Heyo.
yet giving winemaking techniques.
Oh, okay.
The wine evolves into an elegant balance of fruit, weight, and restraint. That sounds like a way to describe theater.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. That
And then these poor Californians were forced to translate that into French for the Canadian market.
is. Oh.
It
Well,
just
I doubt
says
they
blah,
do.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that is not nice to French people.
And then on the inside here,
You know, his partner's a Lafreniere, so.
inspired by coastal maritime influences. Oh, God, I don't know.
That's the other coast they're
Really?
talking about then, I guess.
Maine fisherman?
Yeah.
I'll have some chowder.
It bursts with vibrant
Chowder.
floral aromas and mouth-watering fruit flavors of strawberry, cranberry, and watermelon. Our off-dry rosé offers a touch of honey and silkiness on the palate, complemented by bright acidity and notes of rose petal, orange peel, and cilantro.
Are you serious?
No.
No.
I just
I
think-
totally would say
based on
something
that,
like that. And I'm like saying how I like it. I'm such a poser.
It should have a lot more sugar in it if it's gonna be all those things you described.
Well, it's-
I know my favorite watermelons are the sweet ones.
sure, well that's on that other coast.
Oh, really?
Tahoe.
So,
The Salt Coast.
alright.
And the Salton Sea.
The Salton Sea, we're on at the base of the Salton Sea.
Okay, I might have more questions.
We like to pepper with a lot of California references because Dave gets to go to California so much.
Oh,
He's-
frequently.
He's
He's a bit of an expert.
He
Oh,
drops
okay.
in Irvine and Tustin and all sorts of
Fullerton.
Fullerton.
The hot spots.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
any of
Mr.
these
Orange
places.
County.
yeah, he's Mr. Orange County. I'll throw in a little bit of Riverside.
You
a
guys,
little
do
bit of
you
the
do
Inland
road
Empire.
trips? Is that
No, my wife's family lives in California, so
Oh,
I'm down
okay.
there a lot.
like Northern California? I'm
Nope.
guessing. No, no.
Southern,
Oh, okay.
Riverside County, Orange County.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, all the counties.
Everything between Los Angeles and San Diego, but inland.
Yeah, where it's like, because it's not hot enough on the coast,
Sure.
so they move inland,
Sure.
where you can get up to the high 30s, low 40s.
Yeah, I get that. I lived in Hollywood for a while. North Hollywood. No,
Wow.
South Hollywood. I don't know. I was
West?
20.
Whatever you had when it was.
West Hollywood. That's right. I told you once.
Yeah, well, there's only one other, that could have been East Hollywood, I don't think.
I live
there
near
is.
the mall.
There should be an East Hollywood. If there's a West Hollywood, there should be an East
There is
Hollywood.
an East one. That's where the golf course is. I think.
It's funny, of course, because it's such a huge area. That, like, so you look at West Hollywood on the map, and you realize how far east it is, as opposed to like the West is
Santa
on the
Monica.
coast. Yeah, Santa Monica
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
West. So
Yeah.
when you're West Hollywood,
Yeah.
like being West San Bernardino, you're nowhere near anything.
No.
I was pretty disappointed when I moved there because I was pretty concerned. I was working as an intern for like some director guy, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do cocaine. I'm gonna have to do
You don't
drugs.
have to.
They're gonna make me.
Yeah.
But the fad when I was there, and I think it's still continuing, is everybody's in AA. Everybody.
Oh.
And
Even
then
if you're not addicted to anything.
Well,
you've
people
gone
started
in-
joining AA to meet
To
producers.
make contact.
Oh,
Wow, that's-
So I was like, I still wanted to like go to a bar for a beer at
Yeah.
least, especially because when I was there, I think a Canadian team made it really far into the Stanley. It was the Flames. They made it to like Game 7 in the Stanley Cup, so I wanted to like watch it. But everybody cared more about basketball, and I was like just trying to find a friggin' bar to go to with someone I knew. It was not possible.
Wow.
No, it was quite frustrating.
What
And then
month?
everybody asked me if I was going. Like, oh, are you gonna go to AA? What class are you in? And I'm like, or whatever, what group? Who do you know there?
I'm an anger management. Based on this whole discussion.
Well, I immediately got involved in a theater group, and none of them
Yeah,
none of
no.
them were in AA.
That's
they all,
the nice
they
thing
all
about
went to the
theater.
dive bars with me.
They can't afford to drink.
No, theater people, thank God, have not discovered AA yet. So wait a second, is that a bad thing? I can't tell.
Well, it ruins our creativity, that's for sure.
I think so, definitely. Yeah, I don't, I can't think of anybody that, I know a lot of vegans theater, but nobody that I can think of that doesn't drink.
It's changed a bit now.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, like in the professional world.
Oh, sure, because you'll die.
That's always the scare.
It's not as cool to be like a raging alcoholic as it was.
Oh, yeah, not a raging alcoholic. You know, we're sort of
You used to have
mid-level.
a lot of cachet.
It did. It was like you're the cool guy.
Yeah, no, you.
Now
I'm
that
a
Steven
violent
Tyler is clean, nobody else wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well, because compared to the guys that did cocaine, you came off pretty mild.
It's true. It's
Yes.
true. Yeah.
The times they are changing.
I know, right? But yeah, no, we're still, again, it's, they're fussy about the food, but put some booze in front of them and it's like, glug, 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 glug. If it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's vegan.
And it's, no, nobody asks.
No?
If it's free, they just take it.
When I did a wine tour in
Freegan is what they are.
Summerhill Wines has a vegan wine, and we were like, wait. Is other wine not vegan? And she was like, oh, I can't remember what she said. It was something with the filtration process that had cow guts or something.
No, yeah, no, that's possible.
No, it's not possible.
Yes, it is.
No.
Cow bones.
Yes, it is.
How?
Because they
Oh,
use
the bone meal.
a gelatin sometimes
That's right.
to clarify
Yes.
the wine. And so you'll pour that through.
Oh.
So
and
they had
take
a
all of
vegan
it.
wine, which we all thought was really weird.
Yeah.
It was cloudy,
It's
and you had to slice it. And it was green.
Tastes like cilantro.
It tasted like cilantro.
This is the title of the episode.
Wine.
You know, Dave here, he was a guest on a podcast. How did you do on the podcast?
Oh,
You
yes,
guested
the podcast. Well, it's done. It's not airing.
So you still can't say what it is.
It's called Long Distances Short, which is a podcast on long distance relationships.
Oh,
But I have not.
not done.
No, I have nothing to do with long distance relationships. But they were doing an episode on giving alcohol as a gift to people overseas and things like that. So
Perfect.
yeah, so
That's
I did
nice.
that, and I was a guest, and I'll let you know more about it when I get more information about it.
Can you tell us how long you were interviewed for?
I think it probably there was one other guest also, so probably half hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Was it in someone's living room or?
No, it was not. It was all done through Zoom, which is like a teleconference.
Yeah.
And the host is actually in Poland.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
How did they find you?
They found me through an affiliate program that I signed the gentleman of Elegant Leisure up for, and the brand manager contacted me and said, "Hey, we're starting a podcast," and then we're thinking, and their company that this brand manager is working for is gift baskets overseas, so they send alcohol gifts, not just alcohol, but alcohol is part of it. And she said, "Well, we're going to do an episode on giving alcohol as a gift to friends overseas." And you're a bit of a cocktail expert. What she didn't know.
Well,
So
we won't tell anybody that we're not all professionals.
Yeah. So anyway, she invited me.
Professional something.
Yeah, we're professionals sometimes.
Professional gentleman.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
I'm a really good professional gentleman.
Yeah. I sent Laura's third cousin a bottle of bourbon.
What?
in
That sounds like a
England.
lie.
And did they receive it?
And yes, they did.
Because my brother-in-law tried to send me gin from Fresno, California, and it never came.
Well, I did it through Amazon.
Well,
So.
which president was in charge then?
Trump.
Yeah. So when did you send that?
Obama.
Oh, see, open borders.
Exactly. But yeah, if you could order booze through Amazon in Canada, what a wonderful world that would be.
And if they flew it to your house on a drone. That would be
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool.
And if
My
you got to
husband-
keep the drone.
My husband and I have a smart home,
Mm-hmm.
like 40% smart home. So Siri turns on my lights, opens my garage door,
Wow.
plays my music,
When you're not
Records everything.
turns my oh yeah,
Well, in case
she knows she knows exactly what's going on. She'll send me ads for things that I did not talk about.
If there's a murder, she'll call the police.
It's
So
true.
I think that's the
It's
upside.
true. Where was I? Oh, so my garage door has been soliciting me
What?
to sign up for Amazon garage door. I'm not even joking.
What is Amazon garage door?
So it's like, so the delivery guys have like a
Okay.
special thing and they can like
Come
put
in.
stuff into my garage door.
I got it.
Because we have, in Calgary, a lot of people have separate garages from their house.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what we have. So yeah, my
So
garage,
your garage door
literally
says,
my garage
Hey,
door.
you can trust me. I'm
It's
your
telling me to upgrade its app to
Yeah,
be.
I feel limited. I can't connect to the greater us.
No, and then you know what else it's doing? It's pressuring me to sign up for Amazon Prime.
Of course.
I don't want to pay for that. I'm so cheap.
It'd be a shame if I couldn't open one day because you didn't sign up for Amazon Prime. Maybe you won't open one day.
I know. I'll be
Might
stuck
not
on the
be
street.
might not be
Luckily, I
able
have a key.
Yeah.
It's funny, I never really thought of the garage door opening mechanism as a sentient device.
You
Yeah.
get smart light bulbs.
It's just,
I know that you can.
All my light bulbs are smart.
But just the idea that they could then
My
recommend
light bulbs are
stuff.
so stupid.
My heat is smart too, which is nice.
Nothing. I'm not wired at all.
We just use dumb old candles.
Yeah.
And we use double fire
I have it in
extinguishers.
bath
No fires on the floor.
Well, you can trust the candle.
My
Freeze it
garage,
over here, innocent!
my garage door is a sentient being for sure.
Oh, my God.
But the reason why we got, it was actually a present I got for my husband for his birthday. I can't remember, birthday, anniversary, Christmas, whatever.
That's what Scotch is for.
Well, he has so much, and then I drink it all. And then it seems like it's a gift for me. So what was happening though was like I would drive away and forget to close it.
Oh, right.
Oh, so now does the smart door
the
close
app-
on its own?
No, the app after 10 minutes sends him an alarm being like, your garage door is open!
Wow.
And one time when I was actually doing something where I had it open,
Yeah.
he texted me, he's like, are you at home? What's going on? Why is the garage door open? I'm like, I'm at home, I'm cleaning out stuff.
Wow.
And then I got,
Better not be my stuff. I'm close to the door.
I know, I'm throwing out all your trash.
It initiates couples
It really does. It really does. And our smart thermostat does the same thing because we have a thing called geo
Oh,
recognition,
geothermal. Oh.
geothermal. So when I'm within like, and I can set it. I think I set it 2 kilometers from my house. When I'm 2 kilometers from my house, the heat will turn up a little bit. But what happens
You're gonna
is
kill me
every
with your
time my
sleep.
husband's like 2 kilometers from my house, I get a notification. It's like, Cody is home. Cody is home. And I'm like, why are you home? Why are you at work? Can you pick up some beer?
That's right. Are you still 2 kilometers away?
Yeah. Yeah.
2 kilometers away, you can still stop for beer.
Yeah. He turned it off.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to open the garage door, Kate? Hal, just open the garage door.
No, we're totally gonna get murdered by our house one day. For
I
sure.
think so, yeah.
So-
Or we're gonna get sold, like, I'm also really bad for, like, being bored late at night and watching TV, and, like, one day a kayak will show up at my house, because I decided that that would be something we could do as a family.
That's funny after a couple of these. I think so. I went back to this. Anybody have any left?
I know
I'm
I
done.
enjoyed it so much the first time that I drank it all. That was the
I
rosé bouquet, but I think I preferred. If I'm gonna,
I'm doing head to head, and I'm still liking the.
Oh, you got both going. I like the
the
whiskey
American
sour the
West
best.
Sour.
I like the whiskey sour the best.
Yeah.
I'm partial to whiskey sour regardless.
Yeah.
But adding a little bit of rosé in there, making it a little more femme, that was quite lovely.
Yeah, it's only half an ounce, but it certainly makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question. How long have we been
We've got
recording?
3 hours.
We've been
That's
recording
right.
for like 5
Yeah, we
hours,
don't
right?
Or 3 minutes, either or.
This
You
is
can't-
kind.
you
This is
can't
kind of
ship
it.
these
Okay,
gas
so this
tanks
was from
off.
Darla. Do you remember Darla? She played Mrs.
Our game?
Bleecker on Juno.
Oh,
The
Juno I
movie.
remember, but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
So she was in Bathroom Humor, so she's hilarious. She told me to ask you, this is not my question.
Okay.
If you lick her, do you call her again? That was her question for the Gents.
I go back to this is my second choice, and this is my first choice. What do you think?
I use a straw.
Yeah.
Here's my more style.
Okay.
That's so gross.
Or is it? We don't know.
My question was, what's a large martini called? A Malargy? I knew Fred would think that was funny. I knew you wouldn't.
I'm not a martini fan, so
Well, you see,
Or a pun fancier.
I had to
if
say
you
that
want
to two
if you
people.
want a martini, if you go up in the Greek times, the Roman times, you said I want a martini. He said, I'll tell you when I want more than one. I'll have a martinus. A martini is the plural of martinus.
Is that true?
Yes.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
Yes and no.
Martinis weren't invented
According
in
to-
Greek times.
I think the better punchline is not a malargus,
Yes.
A Malargy.
a malargy, but a marbiggy.
I'm Marbiggy.
Oh.
Because then you're
Oh,
you
yes,
got
a
your
marbiggy,
teeny,
yeah.
and then you got I think big
Yeah.
is better than
You know
large.
what? You know what kills a joke? Overanalyzing.
No.
No, let me go into why.
If you do it enough, it comes
You just-
around, then you go.
No, you
"Ah."
gotta mic drop and walk out.
There should be a third version of that that's even funnier.
There is, and there will be if you go to our
Our
website.
medium?
It will be at the very end of www.gentlemanofelegantleisure.com.
Or
Mar size referencey.
yeah.
I did.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did. Oh, so I attended a wedding on Sunday. It was my best friend's wedding.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
part of it. And I got told to give a speech, and I had a really good joke, and Darla, our friend, who's stand-up comedian,
Oh, okay, good.
also, she's an actor, stand-up comedian, I had a good joke, and I was like, I don't know about this crowd. Like, you gotta read the room, right?
Have you ever watched Mrs. The Amazing, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
See,
I haven't seen that one yet.
you know when I say
Let it get
these
back.
drinks work,
Yeah.
this
This
is
is
it.
nothing good, brother.
Pan right, pan right.
Yeah,
That's had enough.
I think so.
I'll drive him home, it's fine. Yes, so Fred knows about this because he's like my only follower on Twitter. And I wrote, I managed to work the word penis into a wedding speech. I'll let you know how it goes. It's a tough crowd, I'm gonna say. That's my conclusion.
Well, we are very, very.
We're not drunk enough.
We're very, well, give it a shot. You gonna do it for us now?
Well,
Your whole speech? Is it
No,
15 minutes?
No, I was told I'm only allowed to have 3. It was technically a toast, but I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah. No, my whole the premise was like her now husband, was like saying all the nice things about him, but then I would compare. I'd be like, oh, he's just like me. He's just like me. And I'm like, of course she married him. He's just like me with a penis. And that was like, cheers. And I walked out. Oh my god.
Well, that is the right time to leave.
It's not that it didn't fly. I have to say, Darla, who's the funniest person I know, also had a really hard time, nailing in her jokes. And
Tricky.
Weddings
this
are
crowd was more about the happy wife, happy life type jokes. They were more about that. And then also the groom's family is they're Persian, so half of them don't speak English.
Oh,
Yeah,
They speak Farsi.
So now one of the teenagers has to translate it for grandma.
You can't trust that.
Awkward.
Which has happened to me several times in my life.
Where does she keep this penis? Does she have it in a case that she carries with her? I don't understand.
Well, you gotta bring it out in situations that call for it.
Sure.
So,
If you have to stir a
job
drink.
interviews.
I'm only 14, grandma.
Tell me the joke. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah, you might have been.
It was a tough crowd though. Darla normally kills, and it was a tough crowd.
Wedding crowds are not a normal crowd.
Well, she killed at our friend Tracy's wedding, which was the audition for Emery's wedding.
Was it?
She killed at that wedding, but not so much at this wedding. It was a tough crowd. They were more focused on free beer.
But you have another wedding coming up, right?
I have another one on Friday. It's a hipster wedding, so they've
They'll
actually said
dig the penis joke.
no. They said no speeches.
Oh well, then just leap up.
Only
Just grab the mic.
only karaoke. That's the rule.
There's a microphone to carry.
Worst wedding on earth.
Hold the music. Hold the music. I just have a couple of things to say.
That's right. Is this microphone on?
Yeah.
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 Penis.
Is there a song that contains this? Is there a song with the title?
Dave?
Not that
Are
I'm
you the
aware of.
song
And the same
lexicon?
one we used for Robinson Crusoe. What was that off the top?
So for context,
Just change the words.
viewers and listeners,
Yes.
Fred and Jason, it was just the two of you, right?
No. For what?
That you wrote.
Oh, for Robinson
It was
Crusoe.
just
Yes.
two. There wasn't a
Yes.
third, right?
I know the volume that we wrote. It seemed like there was 3
Well,
people.
technically, I think I was the third writer,
That's
whether
right.
Jason liked it or not.
It went from 3 hours down to 2 hours.
That's true.
But it wasn't even. It was actually an
So-
old. What's her name? Charlotte
Oh yeah,
Johnson.
we took a
Yes.
Charlotte script.
Yes.
We took out all the racist
Hang on,
dialogue.
back it up. So we do pantomime sometimes at the White Rock Players Club.
Oh yeah, background.
And I got asked to direct, and then it sealed the deal that I heard that Fred and Jason were writing. That was the first time I met you. And you looked terrified when you met me. And so I was texting Fred, I'm like, is Fred okay with me being on this podcast? or is Jason okay with me being on this podcast? Jason looks like he hates me because they changed the script all the time. Oh, you're okay.
That's-
Okay.
Just so you know, that was Fred doing that. That was not me.
Yeah.
I have.
When she used the phrase change the script, Fred
Well, I
just
mostly
lost
just changed all the songs, not
Yeah.
the script.
Oh, the songs were they're
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
Sorry about your.
Oh, this might be my drink
No,
actually.
it's your drink. You got some.
Oh, I got more. Well, now you can compare.
I don't remember that, and I don't, that's why I don't play poker anymore because I had a poker face. But no, I harbor no ill will. It wasn't like Kate is that stupid bitch. I would like to get have her on the show.
The
But I
singing
think-
parrots.
That's normally what happens when
The
people
singing
meet me.
parrots.
I don't remember the show.
I had the sock puppets.
It was an awful script, wasn't it?
No, it was great.
Was
Whatever.
it?
I won
think
1,000
Dave
awards.
read it, and Dave assured us that it was an awful script.
But you had to see it.
Really? Yeah, really? And I said it was an
Good
awful
Lord.
script.
Well, I don't think he said it was an awful script. I'm putting
Apparently
words
it
in
was
your mouth.
great because everyone remembers seeing it.
I
Did you
remember.
come? Did you even see it?
I probably did, but it was several years ago now.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
I only see theater that I'm not involved in.
Oh,
In
that's
fact, I
fair.
saw a
That's
show
fair.
a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I went out to the Metro.
That's the safest place to go.
Exactly.
Woohoo.
Because they were remounting a show that I had been in there.
But you know why it's a safe place to go? They have the best seats. They're old movie theaters.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Metro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's nobody in them. Take that Metro Theater.
Yeah.
Enjoy your 12 people in the audience.
Oh no, it's community, support it.
What'd you see?
Up and Coming. They redid Up and Coming.
Already?
That's what I thought. I only did it like 9 years ago, and I thought, you're remounting Up and Coming? Oh, let me do this asshole in Up and Coming.
How
You
was
were
it?
in it?
I was in it 9 years ago.
Okay.
It's not really a very good show.
No, I know.
But was it a good show when you were in it?
When I read it, I thought, oh, this is going to change everything. I'm going to do this, and someone's going to say, you should do a podcast. Maybe 3 years ahead of everybody else doing a podcast. Anyway, and I thought it was funny, but it wasn't that funny when we did it, and so I wanted to see somebody else do it. Because I don't know if you guys remember,
I do.
they came out and saw it. I don't know really how you were.
When would it?
You might have had
9 years ago?
I think so.
I was here. Fred doesn't invite me to
It's
stuff.
okay. You wouldn't come to see
a
it.
ready to this.
Apparently there's an annual barbecue that we like never get to go to.
Was that the play where you were prime minister?
I was-
Deputy prime
I
minister?
was a deputy prime minister,
Right.
so I'm doing a
You
questionable
remember
British
it,
accent.
okay.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and it's a farce, and there's intrigue.
Sure.
There's several different, and
So
then I had
there's
to
mistaken identity, several doors.
several doors, no mistaken identity.
Oh, that's not a farce then.
But in fact, here's this.
Farcy.
You can share this with your theater
Okay, okay.
audience who are going to tune into this now.
Yeah,
Stay till the 50-minute mark.
The 4 hour mark of the show.
There was a guy in the show, and I've complained to these guys about it. He was an elderly man.
Wait, this is the one you were in or the one that you saw?
This was the one I was in. Although it looked like, watching it, that they had the same deal with this guy.
Yeah.
Probably.
You get an old guy to play an old guy,
Yeah.
and quite often these old guys, they can't remember anything. I don't know how these actual old actors, John Gielgud or somebody like
Yeah.
that, you know.
I'll tell you why. Nobody auditions.
Yes, community theater director. There.
I need a senior actor.
We got
Is
one.
Fred available?
You're in.
This guy looked great. He looked great. Oh my God, he looked great. And he played judges on like various things in Vancouver when you were doing film and TV. So if you want a guy that's going to be a judge, this was the guy you got. He was old, he was balding, he was a little bit daughtery, but he could say three. No, allow it. He could say that.
All right.
He's the prime minister. And so my character, Pip, is on stage for the whole show. I'm keeping you?
No. My watch yells at me to tell me to stand up every like hour.
My watch barely tells me the time.
I don't even go.
I'm sorry. It's also telling me that my house is on fire.
That's right.
Glass doors
I
on
live 2 kilometers
Yeah,
from home.
he's 2 kilometers from home right now.
This guy, he couldn't remember anything. And so as the scene arrived for him to come on, I was so tense up because I thought, how am I going to negotiate the rapids of this
Right.
guy?
Right.
Where
Because he
it's-
may or may not know his lines.
Exactly. He was always going to know his first couple of lines, but beyond that, he could be 3 pages ahead and then back on the page. And he had a bunch of plot stuff to give out. And so I just started to, in my head, I was weaving back and forth on the balls of my feet. And I would jump around and just give him this and give him that and give him this and give him that. And like on the final night, almost the final night, he said to me after the show when we were hanging around with the thing, he says, you got a little bit lost out there tonight, I
Oh
think.
my God! What do you say to that?
I just
Yeah,
laughed and I said, oh, well, you know,
I'm
I'm there
never
all
doing
night
another show
long.
ever again as long as I
You
live.
never know. You never know what it's going to be. And another girl that was in the show, she came up to me and she said, you were so gracious. That was so nice of you. And I said, it really was, wasn't it? I was very nice.
Yeah, see what you say tomorrow when they find his lifeless body in a ditch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was so rough. But he was so, I'm going to use the quotes around the word,
Good.
gifted
Oh yeah.
as an actor, that he could spin it so that if it looked like you screwed up. That was his strength. He had been done it so long that he could come up and say anything.
He's the master.
And people would be like, oh my God, that old man. He had my heart in his hand. It was a shame that other guy screwed up, fell over the couch trying to run around to where he was going to hand him the tea.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever it
raised
was.
it, right? Like, he's
Yeah.
not drunk all the time.
No. He's lovable.
Yeah, everyone loves Ray.
And I've heard that Humphrey Bogart would do this.
Yeah.
Sure,
He
yeah.
would screw up other people's takes.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Dick Van Dyke apparently was like that too.
really? Oh,
He's
that's
still like that.
During the Dick Van Dyke show, he was unfortunately a raging alcoholic.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so people would just have to be responsive to what was going
But
on.
you know,
Oh,
They only had so much tape back then.
That's right, yes.
It was expensive.
so we just have to work around. Yeah, I think he's mentioned that.
Yeah, he
But
talks about it now.
He's been like, because he's 90.
He's like 92.
I'm
he's
always,
92.
every
So
time I
he's
see
been
him
alive for
on
like 60
TV,
years.
every time I see him on TV, I Google, is Dick Van Dyke dead? Because I feel like he should be.
I saw a picture just recently with Dick Van Dyke, Carl Reiner, and Mel Brooks. They're
Yes.
all in their 90s.
Yeah.
And there's one other person
Wow.
who was like
You know who else is still
Norman
alive?
Lear.
Norman Lear.
Norman
yeah,
Lear is still alive.
He's
He's still
still
alive.
96 or something. Yeah.
Norman Lear has a podcast every week.
What?
Got Kate's on it next week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, because it's about drinking.
Oh, okay.
Cats.
Yes.
Jerry Lee Lewis is still alive too.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. that's
Right?
crazy.
Okay, I mean, yes.
The only reason Jerry Lee Lewis is still alive is
Yeah.
because he died in 1974 and his
Yeah.
body don't know yet.
Is his 13-year-old wife still alive?
Oh, he's 80.
There's another podcast about him that talks about why he's so well liked in the county that he's from. I can't remember the name of it. It's that one where Elvis's dead twin brother lives.
Oh.
You know the one that's south of
Yeah.
Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's really well liked down there, and they will fight to the death to say that he didn't murder anybody, he didn't marry anybody underage, he didn't do this and
He
that.
didn't?
Yeah.
He didn't marry anybody?
Oh no,
underage?
he certainly did.
Yeah.
I think he's like the governor of that county now. Even though he's 99 years old.
I saw him in concert.
Yeah?
It was uncomfortable.
No. I don't think he does concerts much anymore.
No, this was several years ago. He was playing a double bill with Little Richard at the P&E.
Mhm.
And the band came out. It was a good band. I don't know that it was a good band. Dave would know that it was a good band because it was a bunch of session musicians from the 50s and 60s. It was like Elvis's guitarist was
Scotty Moore.
maybe Scotty Moore, and some other guys. It was a really good band. But Jerry Lee didn't come out, so they all kind of played and tried to entertain us as we're all like, what's going on? And because we're a dumb audience, every once in a while somebody would go, yeah! Just in the hopes that that was going to lure Jerry Lee. Was going to say, I didn't realize.
He'd say, what?
Yeah, you know, something like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, finally they got Jerry up. He did not look like, it looked like somebody had woken up somebody and
Oh
said,
my God.
don't forget you're doing a show. And he said, when am I getting paid? And they said, $5. And he went, I don't want to do it. And said, we gotta do it for $5 because we flew all the way to Vancouver. You're doing it for $5. Ah! And that's when he came out. He was kind of hunched over and he had the face of just like, ah!
Where am I?
And he went, yeah. And he went over to the piano and he's kind of noodled and kind of teased, and you know, and then he would stop and then he would chastise the band. He said, "What are you guys playing? You know this song?" And they were like, "Yeah, we all know that song." "It's play it flat, for Christ's sake!" Not a C. And he went on and on and on. He played half songs and no hits, just songs he wanted to play. You know, a big punishment to everybody.
Little
You
t-shirt.
can't play the hits anymore, they're too fast.
He flipped the piano bench over, which was ineffectual. And finally his daughter had to come out
Yeah.
and say, and grab him by the elbow and kind of, there was a,
There he was.
It showed itself right there.
it was. And then little Richard came up with a vengeance because he's been denied everything all his life.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so now this latest thing is that the 45 minutes that Jerry Lee was going to do, it was turned into an hour and a half, and he's only got, someone said, "You got to wrap this up in 20 minutes." And he's like, "I'm not going to wrap it up in 20 minutes." And he came out and he played and he played and he played and he played and he played, and we was just like, people started to stand up and like, people were leaving and he was like, oh my God, it was
Damn.
an awful night.
So Little Richard is the one to see.
Yeah.
I
Did he die? Is he still alive?
He's still alive. He can't die till Jerry Lee dies. That's
Oh
the
my
deal.
God.
Paul McCartney can't die till Yoko Ono dies. There's a bunch of people.
Ringo has to die
It's
first.
a pact.
Ringo and
Well, now that's happening soon. He sold off all his music. like those 4 songs.
Who did, Ringo?
Yeah, he sold off all his rights to all his music.
To Michael Jackson?
No, to one of the big record companies.
What songs?
He did
Photograph.
have a little help, didn't he? Wasn't that him?
Octopus's Garden?
Whatever he has credit to, it's gone.
I think
like
well,
last
he
year.
sang Have a Little Help, didn't he?
He sang, but
He sang.
he wrote anything that he wrote, and so I don't know what he wrote.
He
I
wrote
don't know.
Octopus's Garden, and he
Okay.
wrote the Listen to Your Footsteps.
Oh yeah. Oh
Coming up
bloody
the
no.
track.
No.
No.
Listen to
No,
your
no bloody.
And they're gonna run. Waiting for you knock, dear, on my own front door. I don't hear you. It doesn't mean you don't love me. Don't pass me by.
That's why! From the White Album.
No, he wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
And Octopus's Garden. He didn't write Yellow Submarine.
No.
He didn't write I Get By with a Little Help from My Friends.
I thought he wrote that one. He just sang that one?
Just sang that. Yeah.
That's sad.
Paul wrote it, didn't he?
I think Paul wrote it.
I have a hard time.
And Photograph.
If you read it as a song, I'm gonna put it right up there on the fridge.
On the fridge. Yeah. Good job. My friends had this sketch comedy group, and that was one of their bits, where Paul McCartney was trying to kill Ringo Starr because he could not be the last Beatle alive. It was actually really funny.
Wouldn't that be horrible?
So it turned into a whole thing where he's like, okay, I'm going to give you a 10-minute start. He was hunting him.
I know there was a Red Nose Day or something like that in Britain a few years ago. There was like a round table, and they kept turning the camera so that there was always more people at the round table.
Okay.
So imagine it's the 4 of us, but then it spins again, and then Bruno Gerussi is here, and it spins again, and also Alan Alda is here, and it spins again. Anyway, so the host was talking, and then Paul McCartney is suddenly at the table, and he says, "Well, it was the last surviving Beatle. I think I should do this." And then it cuts over to Ringo, who says, "What do you mean the last surviving Beatle?" And then I cut back to Paul, who was like, "Oh, I mean, that's pretty good."
Awkward, he's in the
That's the
room.
last surviving. So, they know.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. Ringo
Yeah.
knows.
No, he's still touring. I mean, he's not stopped. He hasn't stopped touring. So.
Ringo?
No, we saw him.
Yeah.
How old was he? Was
Paul McCartney was just here.
70th.
No, he's here next
Birthday.
week.
Yeah, he's.
I think it was
Saturday.
Saturday. So he's 79 now, so it was about 9 years ago that we
Yeah,
saw him.
I saw him at the winery.
At the winery.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's here on Saturday.
Well, was
Oh,
Yeah.
He wouldn't come here for 48 years. Now he's here every year.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we just
His
saw him.
last tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
For $500.
That's right. They gave him the paperwork.
Yeah,
to
he's
say,
here. The only reason I know that is because he's one of my friends can't go to the wedding because she's going to Paul McCartney.
Really? She chose.
Well, she booked it before. The hipster wedding, you only get like 3 months notice.
Oh, of course.
That's right. Because it's sprung like a trap.
Because that's when you. That's the soonest you can possibly book a microbrewery.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, and a cotton candy machine. An old typewriter.
Which is a good name for a cocktail, the hipster wedding. It's got
Hipster wedding?
rosé and Pabst Blue Ribbon in it.
Oh.
It's not the rosé. It's the
That
hipster
sounds like
wedding.
the rosé though.
Yes.
The hipster rosé.
One ingredient away.
The hipster rosé is called the fanny pack. Okay?
I hope somebody's writing this down.
I will
Or
not
recording
write
it in
this
some
down.
way.
Dave's going to start recording this in just 3, 2, 1.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
this is the practice. And
That's
so we're
right.
going to do 3 new cocktails.
That's right. When we do this, you're going to want to layer that one.
Now I gotta layer, yeah.
Yeah.
Get that spoon out.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We're exhausted.
Great, that was my goal.
Yeah. No.
Coming out and doing the big show here for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Did you want to swear before the end of the show?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay. You had your chance. You had your chance.
Yeah.
My mom listens, so she's your other viewer.
Oh, really?
I don't know actually.
I told you
No,
there
you
was
don't.
2.
I actually don't know.
Oh.
She goes, how do I find these things? I'm like, Mom, it's an app on your phone, it's
just
free.
touch the thing on your phone.
Moms bless their hearts when they try to do that thing and just say, you know what, don't worry about it. It's not for, you don't want to say it's not for you, but it's not for you.
Well, I want her to do it,
It's like
but what I
radio.
don't want is the
Of course, you're
25
young.
phone
I bet your
calls.
mom's like
Yes.
26.
My mom is 67?
Right.
Oh,
That's-
she's
Friend's
fine.
age.
She can make it work. What?
See, there you go. There's
Just
the
a second.
This guy could be your father. In fact, we haven't announced it today.
What? Here's the DNA from 23andMe and
This is why Dave was doing that podcast.
I will wrap up your podcast with a game that Tom and I play.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to spring this on you right now.
Really? 'Cause
Tom
we
and I
can-
play a game called Name Something That You... There's 2 versions, you can do either one. Name something that you love that everyone else hates,
Mhm.
or name something that you hate that everyone else loves. So like for instance, my friend Kenji loves The View, like the show.
Oh, right.
Everyone hates that show. That show's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I have a few. Like I like hate The Matrix, like the movie. Like it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I kind of realized in the last like 2 years that I actually, you know, and I'm pretty like I'm kind of cool. I'm hip. I'm with it. I don't really like Nirvana. I find the music very off-putting. So this is like the game that I like to put everyone on the spot. One friend of mine said that they hate the ocean.
Wow.
Right? That was weird. They said it smells bad and they don't like it.
Well, that's true.
A lot of things to dislike about the ocean.
Well, who wants to go first then?
I don't care for the tragically hip.
Oh, that is
Oh,
controversial.
Well, Jason's right on your page. He hates the tragedy.
I only like
Exactly, you
one.
just thought I was going to say Gord Downey. I hate Gord Downey.
No, I don't hate Gord Downey.
I hate Gord Downey.
I like the band guys seem very nice. Their music. I mean, I like the one about the poets. Don't tell me that the poets.
I like that song too.
That's the only song that I will
It's
tolerate.
called Poets, I think.
Is it really? That's exciting.
I can come up with another one now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it goes without saying that everybody
Yeah.
else.
Or something you love that everyone else hates.
No, I like this one.
Yeah.
No.
The negative one is always
you
more
go
fun.
dark. I
The
know.
negative one.
But I'll try to figure out another one. Have you got one there, Dave, to clear the palate?
Yeah, I hate all millennial music.
All millennial music.
Yeah,
I don't
hate
even
it
know
all.
what that is.
Music died in the year 2000. It's never recovered. And that was the death of rock and roll.
Wow, that's
I'm a cusper, so I may take half offense to that.
that's good. What about the Bedouin Soundclash?
No, that's not the game. It's defend.
No, yeah, it's true.
No, it's attack.
This is let everybody like air
Oh.
their grievances.
It's supposed to be okay.
Without
Okay.
judgment.
I'm gonna still have to come up with one. Something that I'm gonna have to come up with something that I love that everybody else hates.
Okay. I love Vin Diesel movies. That's one that I love that everyone else
Okay.
hates.
Or do you really love Vin Diesel?
No, I just think that they're hilarious and I love them so much because they're so badass in a terrible, terrible way.
Well, I can see that.
Yeah, like Triple X is genius.
I haven't found anybody else but me that likes the band Big Daddy.
Like the swing band?
No, it was a band that did 80s and 90s songs, but in the style of 50s and 60s songs.
Okay.
And anytime you would put it on, people would go,
Is this like Richard Cheese?
Is it like Richard Cheese?
Richard Cheese did,
Are you serious?
he did lounge covers
It would probably be like
of
Richard
like
Cheese. then.
hardcore
Or
90s
Fred Zeppelin?
alt band.
They did what, reggae versions of Led Zeppelin songs, wasn't it?
I don't know that one, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that did
Fred
that weird
Zeppelin.
version of Wonderwall? Somebody did a lounge version of Wonderwall.
That was Richard Cheese probably.
Oh, could have been.
Yeah. Like he did
Richard
Rape Me by Nirvana, but sang it as a lounge song, which was
That
hilarious.
almost sounded awful. It
Yeah.
sounded like you said, he didn't rape me. And then you tried to just go another way with it.
I slur, that's fine.
And I stand by my Gordon Downey, and I'll add a tragically hip to it.
So really? You just throw them all under the bus?
I don't like the tragically hip, but people revere Gordon. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. The game
No,
was
no, you
what
don't have
do
to
you
go into
not
That's the
like
thing
that
about this
everybody else
game,
likes.
is it will make you lose listeners.
right.
It'll make people
Polarizing
hate you.
things. We finally got a guest.
Yeah,
And now,
now it's drop by half.
it's
I feel like my Nirvana one was really, it's very controversial.
yeah, I don't,
It's very contrary to like who people think I am.
I guess so. I would go along with you though. I never cared for Nirvana, but I'm too old to like.
The thing is though is that I'm okay with the movement.
No, you're not.
I like the grunge movement.
No,
yeah,
you
well
didn't.
like I was like a 90s
No,
kid.
no, think about it.
No.
Look at you. You're dressed nice now. You got some kind of Crocs or something on.
Well, I'm
here.
like a goddamn adult. My title at work is executive director. I gotta
Wow.
like pull my act together.
yeah.
Executive director.
You know,
We
right?
can't have her on
I
the
don't
show.
think so. We have to eliminate this whole episode. Right?
It's of a theater. Does that downgrade it?
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
little bit, yeah.
Have you got one though, Dave? Because what do you?
You're not totally mainstream.
Oh no, you did one. I'm sorry. I wanted to get another one out because
Okay, I'll do one that I like.
he said the
What
sniper.
do you like that everyone hates?
What do you like that everyone?
I really
hates?
like the movie Ishtar.
I've never heard of this
Is
movie.
that wrong?
No,
Does it
that's
not matter?
I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter, and it's a fine movie.
Exactly, but everybody people don't like it.
It only counts
don't-
if it's
Did
like
you ever see
popular.
Ishtar, Dave? Mike
I
made
never,
me
I
see
never,
Ishtar.
I never
Is
saw
Mike
it.
Myers in this movie? Like,
No,
what
it's
is
Warren
this?
Beatty and Dustin Hoffman.
No one knows.
It's a road movie.
It's like a Bob Hope and Bing Crosby road movie. Is what they tried to
It
do.
cost
So it's
it cost
Ocean's
$1
15.
billion,
Back in 19.
90 something.
That's right. So it cost $10 million, and people were
Billion.
infuriated.
Yeah.
It
And
is
it made
terrible?
3 cents.
It
So
made
it's the water world of
Yes,
those days.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And I think
And I feel like my listeners don't also know what Waterworld is.
they also do not know what, which
I
I
hate water.
So
No,
it's like
Waterworld is
Suicide
pretty
Squad.
Look, I'm not
Waterworld was fine. Nothing wrong with Waterworld.
Nothing wrong with Waterworld.
Okay, well that's something that there you go, guys.
Yeah.
That's something you guys like that
And
everybody
I
needs.
even like the show at Disney World, which I don't think they
It's
do
not a
anymore.
Disney.
No, it
It's
would have been
Universal.
like
Universal,
Studios.
sorry, Universal.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like? Universal Studios.
No way,
All of
man. The Jurassic Park ride is awesome
Yeah, I don't care for Universal Studios.
because it's scary.
It is.
Everybody else
It drops you at
likes
the
it.
end.
You've always been a Fox guy.
Yeah.
All Fox.
All Fox.
When
all
Fox opens their theme park, you'll be the first in
You
line.
get yelled at by news reporters
Yeah.
calling you a
And
liberal
Homer
commie.
Simpson.
I was hoping for an RKO theme park.
You and Orson Welles go there.
It'll
And
be the yes
They pretend the end of the world is
the
coming.
rose
You're
the
not really
rosebud
sure.
ride. Oh, is that a spoiler?
Oh, spoiler.
no. Yeah, this
60-year-old
is
trailer.
1941.
I remember there was we gotta wrap this up. I remember I was reading Charlie Brown comics.
I have to be home for an hour.
Okay, Charlie Brown comics.
I'm
This
due
is
at Starbucks in 20 minutes.
back when they would do the digest format of it.
Mhm.
And the punchline of it was Snoopy was doing Paw Pet Theater. This is probably about 1976. I'm going to guess these strips are from Paw Pet, and he would do puppets.
Oh,
But he would do these things, and he did Citizen Kane, which was a comeback for Charles M. Schultz a lot of the time. Citizen Kane, and Linus and Lucy or somebody was watching the thing acted out, and at the end of it, one of them looked at the other one and said, "Rosebud was his sled."
Yeah.
And I was 8, and I
Yeah.
looked at it and I thought, "This is great." I looked at it and I don't know what they're talking about. And I reread this over the years, and I still didn't know what they were talking about. And then in university, I was in a film course, and we watched Citizen Kane, and I was like, "Oh, Citizen Kane!" And in the back of my head,
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was from that Charlie Brown comic strip." And so I watch it, and
Yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
Rosebud
Yeah.
was the sleigh or
Yeah.
the sled,
Yeah.
and I went, "Ow!"
Wow, that joke took a long time to
Oh
land.
my God, it was fantastic! It went from 1978 to 1980.
That's any of us watching any opera.
Yeah.
Going, I know what this is from.
Rigoletto!
Kill the Wabbit.
Kill the wabbit. Well, if you could be on the show every week, this would be fantastic.
That would be great.
When are you back?
I don't know yet, actually.
Perfectly. 2021 it is.
All right.
Every episode I listened to in the last little while, though, Jason keeps threatening to end it, so I gotta keep this going.
I
for
know.
you guys.
So we gotta do, we ply him with more alcohol, drugs, women.
Who
I am
else-
easily
Alcohol was the secret ingredient.
Well, once you requested to be on it, I knew we had at least to do it till July.
I heard this, and then I was listening to one, and I was like, oh god, is this like a special one that you're just bringing
Yeah,
back?
this is it.
Because I'm only coming here in
This is the final episode. Do you have a
Oh, no,
message
that's
for
a lot of
your
pressure.
vast
It's
viewing?
81 though, you gotta round off at least.
Yeah,
I will round off.
500. Because you wouldn't do it past 500.
Well, we'll get you on our
How
show.
about 100?
Yeah.
How about 100?
Yeah.
Then we can go into syndication.
Of course. And we go all
That's
through our
when
separate.
That's when we start. That's when we start on HGTV.
Do we have a favorite drink then? We're going to say the whiskey sour.
Oh, the sour.
The sour.
Yeah, I went back to the other one, and it was pleasant. It was sort of it came
It's-
off kind of
Yeah.
These are both
lightweight.
they're both delicious drinks.
Oh,
And
you can't go wrong. If you just had this, if you didn't have a comparison with the rosemary in there, it just adds a nice little. It makes you feel fancy.
rosé bouquet.
It's true.
Yeah.
It has a nice name.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's it's probably better than the name.
I have to say though, like I really don't feel like the rosé was the star of today's show. Even though that was like
it was
a
just
big
supporting.
player.
Yeah.
Supporting actor?
I
It
think
was the Larry Dallas of both the drinks.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we could
I'm just
probably.
gonna Google who that is now.
Neighbor on Three's Company.
Three's Company was a comedy with John Ritter. John Ritter was the son of Tex Ritter. Tex Ritter was a big singing cowboy from the 30s, 1930s, between the 20s and the 40s.
Here's a hot button. The rosé was the George Harrison of these cocktails.
Oh.
Better.
It was
Oh,
integral,
That's
Yeah.
controversial.
but you know,
It's still living. It's still living.
But you know,
George Harrison isn't alive.
But the rosé is still
the rosé
living.
is still alive.
That is the Ringo of today's episode.
Yeah.
No, George is a better example.
The rosé is a better drummer.
Do you know how we wind up the episodes? Do you feel confident to pull it around?
I'm not sure I've ever made it to the end.
Oh, God.
Oh,
there we go.
17 hours long.
They are typically about
How do we wrap
18
it
or
up? I
19
forget.
Well, what we do is we start out with a sentence saying that here's the punchline. The punchline is going to say that people, gentlemen of elegant leisure and ladies of elegant leisure, tip big,
Okay.
right? So we often say we go to a bar,
Yeah.
and you know what I did? And then we all say tip big.
Okay.
But no matter who tries it, by the time you get there, you're in the wrong tense.
Yeah. You can't divert.
You want to give it a whirl?
Okay, wait. Start me off though.
Okay.
My line is tipped big.
That's right. Your line is, it's actually tip big.
Tip
That's
big.
the problem.
So if you're at a wedding
Right.
and it's an open bar,
Right.
but this guy's been making you, a little special drink all night long because you've been saying, hey, can you make this? And he wants to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I can make the whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell this thing was.
Yeah, I'll make it a triple.
I'll make it a triple.
Yeah.
And so at the end of because it's an open bar,
Yeah.
you're not paying.
Yeah.
But you feel guilty.
Sure.
You feel like he's put in a lot of extra work, at least for you. maybe.
Yeah. So,
So-
I tip big.
Oh.
Tipped?
Good night, everybody.